So back to the fact that do you know that you're alone here, especially as a humane being. You're completely just set apart and aside and going down, I guess you could say down the middle. But no, it's more like what's in the middle is a backdrop of something that is, boy, if you ever um, found what your association is like karmically, if you even know this language, like, oh, what is karma? What is my soul connection kind of thing? Well, you're in a soup full of like non-human. See, the thing is what's going to last through the next 3 months or 4 months. How many months is it now? Really, it's in September when Pluto hits 29 degrees Capricorn, and a lot is not going to survive that is trying to be real, but it's not real. There's fake love, there's your fake people, there's you faking yourself out, holding on to the matrix. That's exactly what we are looking at. It's kind of like Pluto is shaking the little, I guess, little dingle balls off the ass of humanity, like who is real and who isn't really, when this stuff starts to get real, because we're talking about either the big black boot in your face forever kind of a thing, or you're slipping your boots on, and you're not going to be the big black boot, but you're going to get shit done. You're working, and you are, see, now I'm speaking for my generation, and even, yeah, of course, what comes out of the 60s needs to be standing up, and because there's a degeneration happening, and so that's just the way it goes. But see, the question is, what in evolution is radiating? What evolution? Is there two types of possible evolvements to be involved with? It's an interesting subject matter. Can we reduce it down to that um, bland of a subject matter? Say just there's two, and how can we, Shauna? Of course we can. There's the mind. See, there's the human part of the there's the part of the organism that is the mind that's not human. But then there's the part of the human, the organism, that is the heart, which now the whole aperture is turned on, and the mind can be served something that will ingest and begin to loop around and learn how to learn, right? And it's not so much that the mind is serving reality up a dish, which is like, uh-oh, what's the neighbor doing up over there again? And I kind of understand some of them who are kindly handing earphones to each other. But no, you people should listen to your microclimatic situations, like what's happening on your street, not on your TV set. See, do you people know how to live together and get along? Because once and if they start announcing like something that you need to panic about, you can turn that all off and say, "Are we okay? All right. Do you remember your job, little buddy? Yeah. What is that? Make sure that nobody gets the water." I'm sorry. Did little buddy already all of a sudden sound like he's from Chicago? Anyway, you catch my drift. It doesn't make any sense to cut your head off and wait for somebody else to tell you what to do. I mean, hey, call me chief of the tribe something like that, but really, really, yes. I mean, I'm sorry, we're not. We're putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first, because how are we going to help anything else out there if there is any help to be done to it, with it, for it? And this is where we're at. This is where we're at with the Pluto going back into Capricorn. If you haven't noticed, I mean, see, some people are trying to tra-la-la, and it's like, did you not notice the full moon? The way it was beforehand, that we had Mars going through a little bit of like an electrical shot, your whole system, and say, look at this, and your heart, the feelings that have gone on. Now, feel how it is that Mars just went into Gemini. This is the second day. It's at, I think it's still at 0 degrees, and it's like, whoo! Talk about starting to communicate, starting to get hyperactive, really productive, because it was debilitated. Mars was debilitated, and Uranus, and going through a little, like I said, I kind of explained it in one video. It was kind of, but anyway, we're moving right along. And see, there's people that they're stuck thinking, oh, it's going to be a certain way, and I'm doing this for this. And it's like, no, actually, did you notice what the political uh, weirdness? They have to do that kind of thing and get everybody's controlled attention and sentimentality, and vote, and also a donation, of course. And it's like, you know what? Like Krishnamurti said, why do we need leaders? Why do you need leaders? I didn't just say, why is that person over there? We should always question the first responder, the one who emerges first and says, excuse me, I think this is a dangerous situation, maybe. Unfortunately, that's the way it kind of goes. That's the way I mean, really, if somebody doesn't understand something, then we have to talk. Talking has to happen. It's like, wait a minute. Well, that's what I did with the guy who's pouring 12 loads of asphalt, and yeah, that's still lingering in the air. Yeah, they need to think about that with their own conscience. They need to rot with it. They are going to rot with it. I don't rot with it. And the people that first respond, no, they shook it off a long time ago, and they're like, you're fucking bullshit. Jacking off over there with it. Pardon me, just a big old talk about that political arena, and so does. Yeah, watch out with the religious, highly religious, and a metaphysical, even philosophizing about something. It's a huge, massive ring of masturbatorial ring, right? They're all like, "Yay! Oh God, you reached the climax." It's funny because it's like, be careful, because you could get stuck in your intellectual masturbation forever. That's what's satisfying. You're like, now let's just pull it together with our minds only and shut out reality and put put our neckties on. Necktie? Whoa. Nobody's even listening to what they're saying. So what in the world are we going to do? I mean, now it's time to celebrate. Can you feel the uplift, it's still lingering in the air how Pluto, the sun is still opposing Pluto. It's some days later that we're going to get off of the heavy duty feeling of that full moon, which was involved with the Pluto conjunction, and how Pluto, it says, well, we're not done with the 29-degree Capricorn, which was the full moon. See, the fact that Sun was trying Neptune at that time was a really, you can see the cartoon. You can kind of, what we're working with is like the malleable uh, stuff, the creation that we create, the light show with, the stuff that all the artistry. And it's like, of course, and of course, and of course, three things in one week. Send your ear to your girlfriend, turn off the robot, Biden, and then pump up the witch. That woman there, that's not a real woman. None of them are men and women up there. That's the problem. And really, I mean, if we talk to each person personally, we go house to house. Do you think that that thing right there, and it's a trick question because you're pointing at the TV set. Do you think that that's a man or a woman there? And if they were smart, they'd say, no, actually, those are pixelated screens. See, when I unplug it, boom, it's gone. I throw it out the window. Me? I'm here. How are you today? Would you like some tea? Most peaceful thing you could do is just offer somebody some tea. Drink it. Drink it slowly. Slow. You're not going anywhere but here. Ever witness a narcissist drinking even just water? You know what I mean? But no, we understand the fast gulp of water, but what if it was something that is anything that like smell the roses, stop and smell the roses? You're going to cherish any moment at all. Do you learn anything? Because it takes time to learn, you know. And that's the thing, you know, how much time did you take to finally get to where? That's the thing is the system says, oh, you're eventually going to get to the goal. And boy, once you're already, you know, once you're fixated on that's actually happening, imagine how staunch of a pride parade that really is. I mean, it's just it takes a lot of your creative juices away from you're dead. You're the living dead. I'm sorry. But that's what we're dealing with, babes, when we're talking about Capricorn and the money system and the whole like we're not just talking about oh it was so hard for the last 14 years, you know, my relationship. We're talking about the Pluto the nodes in Libra and Aries for the next until January. Um, Aries says, no, you're a more independent operating aperture as just the human organism. Have you turned yourselves on? Or are you that codependent on each other? It's looking like it's a disgusting scene of like people that, like, first of all, like, okay, so if they're not like being, what's the word? I was like gadgetry for the system who just all of a sudden they activate because it's time to go do something. What? A holiday. What? Oh, vote. What? What if it's just your 9 to 5 every day? Yeah. Time to take a break. Time to go to lunch. Now time to go home. Now time to turn on the news. Now time to watch the show. Now time to go to sleep. Now time to you know we that's exactly what we're talking about. The Matrix. Have you just taken a fucking break and said, you know what? That's not even me. That's not even my idea. Really, a lot of people look at this and they think, you know, oh, one of you just don't know what it takes to make the world go round. It's like, no, thank God I don't. I don't have no stake in that matter. That's the living dead over there, like the Ferris wheel of fucking cows that are running McDonald's over there. A literal 245 cow fucking Ferris wheel that saws heads off, drains their blood per what? I think it's per minute that thing goes on. Because just as the combines are cutting wheat for this fucking shit out there, to keep going and going in the morning, to stuff cereal in their mouth, to get out the door and get going, for what? See, a lot of the scene, no, I just flashed, classic. There's a woman there. There's a woman there kind of like in gauze. She's all wrapped up in gauze and she's like, talk about masturbating. He's like, oh, the guy comes on. Did you ever figure out if you even fucking got along? That's classic. Tenfold. Needs to end. That money system. See that somebody I was talking to before the C-19 announcement. It was weird how people were situating, if you remember, and then that thing kind of interrupted a lot. It just worked on everybody, right? So, but anyway, so the conversation, I remember, I mean, this person kept kind of poking around it. And it's hard to talk about this, right? It's hard to talk about money. People think, it's so hard to talk about where we came from, the creation of creation. I think it was a muddy pit, and then some organisms rubbed together, and then it came out onto the land, and it dusted off, and it saw the sun, and it kept going, and climbed a tree. And that's what they're saying. That's how we got a dime and a nickel, and that's just how it put together. We don't really know how it got here, but just work it, baby. It's working. It's great, isn't it? No, that's not how money is. Money is not found on the periodic scale of elements, no matter what a Jewish person is under the impression of as far as their blood is concerned. Is it green? Maybe. Sorry. I love everybody and I trip out on everybody also. So anyway, getting back to, I was on to something I was trying to talk about. Um, Sometimes I lose my place, but I hope you're enjoying the radiation. A lot of times, see, because we can easily lose our IQ level dealing with narcissists. You can get literally, see, this is the thing, not well known, but you can experience brain damaging brain damage. See, first of all, it comes in confused all the time. You can't put word. They will take the words out of your mouth. You're not using much. You're not shuddering into reality as aware as you used to be. They're fucking you up. Sorry, and so that, see, that's your system out there. Your TV set jolting you around, telling you this is the way you're supposed to live. No, you're doing this wrong, and maybe you should be fearful about that. That's just like, could you shut up? Narcissists are there just wanting control, and they do that through talk, right? And it's hard to tell who's who, but you know what? You need to tell who you are is who. How are you? How are you doing? Do are you like an Indian chief who just, like, you listen to people talking, and you kind of look up and down and think, well, I either yay or nay, but really it's like you stay centered in the moment. Are you staying unhusking your corn for the fucking storage of the yearly process of what we're to just have you do you know there's a yearly process? It's simplified. Are you gathering fuel for heat for winter? Are you indeed farming your own stuff? Are you able to look each other in the eye and say this water is clean? Billy Bob over there kept it clean. You can involve the children in life instead of sending them to a place where it's like, God, this is so confusing. I think somebody else should take care of that because I got to go over here. And then what happened to now? Did I mention the woman in gauze masturbating? minute fucking minute 19, and I hope that you can see past it. Can you respect the people who never got into it? And they're saying, God, is it true that, do you feel what's in the air right now? As super sensitive empath and as people that know that, well, it's starting to escalate now because, see, the more that people wake up, like Barbie doll over here, who can just say, nah, actually, whew, oh, that almost got on me. Your illness of doing the karmic retribution for the ancestral nut house over there, who they don't even know that they should have waken up, and they're depending on you as a child. And I'm saying, as a child, are you around about, are you one that's turning 70 and you still didn't get out of the matrix? Are you hanging on to it by the skin of your chinny chin chin? Are you conducting a fucking amazing hellhole scene that you pass on to your children's children, who, you know what, God is amazing the way, because God owns them, and the way He programs children is to just shake it off and say, no, I think that there's a different way, and I have disagreed with that from day one, and since I was 4, and I ran away, and I got over here, and now hopefully I'm writing a book. Do not do it that way. That's all the good children it can ever be. Believe it or not, you fucking narcissist. Do you want them to get ahead of you? No? Then don't have them, because as soon as you have them, they're ahead of you. Right there, boom, they know a language better than you and everything. If it's just their emotions that they're displaying, they know something better than you. But no, children come geared up with the words that they will be speaking in the future. You can't show them anything about the future. That's a fact. So you can't tell them anything. But narcissists think you can tell, and you can continue on with that with your newscasts over there. But it's like 15 out of, say, 1,500 and say, no, actually, when they say water, I don't get wet. I'm just going to continue to have a good time.